Hey everybody, my name is Byron Summerdahl. I'm with Ackland Avenue, and I'm joined today by Frank, Richard, and William, and we're going to be talking about browser automation with Selenium through using C Sharp. So uh, I'll want to start off with just letting these three guys. I've done this before, and these guys are about to have to do it, and so I want to give you guys a chance to just ask some questions really quick, and then I also want to get into a live coding example. So take it away, guys. Just whatever questions you've got to get us started.
Oh, what is Selenium?
Good question. Selenium is just a library. It's a tool. It basically it is able to get into the get out of your C Sharp world and get into the browser world, and it can actually use the browsers that are installed on your computer, open them up, and then call into those browsers and actually control what they do, from just navigating to different URLs to even clicking on different elements or selecting different HTML elements and reading their contents, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay.
Other questions?
that's straightforward.
That's the probably the biggest question. So just jump into Visual Studio real quick. I've got a unit test set up here that just says when going to Ackland Avenue, it should see greatness. So what we want is to see some greatness. So first I'm going to start by, whoops, I'll just go to Ackland Avenue. And let's just see if we're doing this manually, like if we're a QA engineer, what do we want to see here? So where's the greatness of this page? How about something about who we are? Um, there's the word heroic. I love this word, so I'm just going to see if maybe if we can do a little test to see if this word appears on the page maybe. So we're going to look for an element that's a paragraph element, and we're going to look for an element, and we're just going to assert that there is a paragraph element on the page that contains the word heroic. How about that?
That works.
So I'm not super experienced with Selenium, so I'm going to start by just installing a package, and we're going to use Selenium Web. Oopsie, no. WebDriver, yeah, and then we'll do Chrome. 'Cause I like Chrome. Okay, so here we're gonna do I'm gonna call this a browser. It's really more like a WebDriver, but to me it seems like a browser. So I'm gonna say Chrome WebDriver. Let's see if I got that namespace right. No, I didn't. So we'll just go directly to it. Did I even load this correctly? Selenium
Yep.
WebDriver. Okay, so maybe I didn't add it to the right project. Yeah, I did. There it is. All right, so now that means I get to go out here and I have to load its core just like that. So I think. Okay, let's see. This is a wonderful web demo, live demo. Already has a reference, so Selenium WebDriver. Let's just make sure that it's actually putting it in the right place. Selenium WebDriver. Yeah, there it is. .NET 4. There's the DLL. So I'm not sure why Visual Studio is. Oh, it's right there. So we're going to call it. Maybe I can't really type Selenium. Maybe I just have to type WebDriver. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So now let's type Chrome. There it is. Chrome driver. See, if I had just been a little bit more patient, then I would have gotten it. All right. So we're going to say the browser. Navigate. Let's see if I can pass something in. No, nothing. Go to URL. Okay, see how you can do back and forward, refresh. So this is interfacing directly with those buttons at the top of your browser. So we're going to go to URL and we're going to give it the name, the URL of our awesome website. Okay, and then we'll create a result here. And so, no, I can't do that. This is actually part of the context. So let's say browser navigate, that goes up there. Now we're going to say browser read, no. Okay, so now that we've navigated, now we need to find elements by
Tag name, I think.
tag name, tag name. There it is. Thank you. So we're just going to give it a P. And so this is going to be a list of elements. So then there's that. I can get rid of this one. So there's our collection. Now in our assertion, we're just going to say elements should contain, and this is a predicate that has a web element in it. So I'm going to say text. There's text and there's content. Oh, no, there's text and something else. I can never remember which one it should be. But you can see here, this is a web element. You can say, okay, it's displayed or it's enabled, it's selected. You can also run methods on these web elements, like click this or get the CSS value, things like that. So you can get the size, the tag name, which we already have. All right, we'll just say text. Should it contain a text that contains heroic? Actually, I'm gonna mess this up just a little bit because I want to see it fail, right? All right, so when I run this test, what I predict it's going to do is you'll see on my computer, it open up Chrome, it'll go to the Ackland Avenue website, it'll do something, and then it should close the browser. In fact, I may have to add a cleanup predicate when finished. Browser close. Yeah. So we'll close the browser when we're done. So I'm going to run this test. And so we should just see the browser pop up. It's going to start this console app in the background that is what it uses as the conduit to open up the Chrome browser window. You see it navigated to acklandavenue.com. It's going to scroll. I'm not sure why it's scrolling, but interesting enough. All right, so then it closed the browser, and then my test failed. All right, so
Just a
here's
question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
To navigate through the elements, for example, if I want to click on an element, you need to do like a tab, or you need to move the mouse, or what would be like the right thing to do? For example, if I want to click on the theme on the menu.
You can do like coordinates and click in certain places, but that makes so one of the problems with running things with Selenium is brittleness. So you can do things, you can set things up in a way that it works today and then tomorrow it breaks very easily. And it's even worse if you try to use mouse coordinates. So don't think about clicking on anything with a mouse. Think about more trying to find something, some element by its CSS tag or by its tag name or by its ID, even better, or by some even XPath or by some sort of CSS selector. I even think it's easier to do just CSS selectors because then you can you could possibly put CSS selectors on elements or I mean, the CSS selectors is really powerful to find things in the page. So just think about HTML and selection that way instead of trying to think of it from the perspective of clicking.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna change it back to heroic, then I'm gonna run the tests again, and then we should see similar behavior, but this time the test should pass.
By the way, in this case we're using Chrome, but I think this is a question. Are we able to use Firefox, Internet Explorer, or any other drivers?
Yes, in fact, we can install package dot and I believe there's a Firefox in here, or no.
And also, are we able to use something like a headless browser, like Phantom?
Right
Oh,
there.
there it is. Awesome.
Yeah. So yes, you can. Here's the IE driver, and I know that Firefox has one. It's not in this list right here. So you just have to Google that. I mean, it's extremely Googleable. You can just Selenium, C Sharp, Firefox. There it is. It's already filling it in for me, and it's going to be pretty easily Googleable. There it is. OpenQA Selenium Firefox. That's the namespace. I'm not sure about the NuGet package, but there are NuGet packages for that. You
Okay.
can even get it for smaller browsers like Opera and things like that. Um, any other questions or anything? If you want me to show you something, I can do another test. Now I'm doing this from the perspective of a test. You guys are going to be actually doing it from the perspective of production code.
Yeah.
But the principles are the same.
Because so you can click a button and then that redirects you to another page, and in that page you can like find something or
You just basically give it a procedure, Acklin Avenue. So we're going to have it Acklin Avenue, and we're going to have it click on the team page. So we want it to click on this element. So I'm going to inspect the element and see if I can find one. All right, this element list item ID nav team. So that makes it super easy for me. So I'm gonna go to the. So I'm gonna kind of break some of the testing rules here. Just gonna kind of stuff things into the established just to get them. So I'm gonna say browser find element by ID, or no, I'm gonna find element by CSS selector. So then I'm gonna do a pound here, and then I'm going to do A. So that's going to select the anchor tag inside of my nav team. I'll even give this more specific here. So then I'm going to do click.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty easy. And then so then I want to do another assert. So now I want to find Frank. So I'm going to find Frank Rodriguez in my page. So let's see. Mm, team member info. So there should be a div with team member info. Do by CSS selector div with class team member info, and then let's see. I've got to drill down into this. There's going to be there's an H3 that has all this. Ooh, that's really bad HTML, isn't it? So there's H3A and then span. So I'm going to say H3A span, and the text should contain Frank Rodriguez.
You typed a Q instead of
yeah,
an
you
A.
type Q.
What are you guys even talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, goes to the team page. Oh, it failed. Why? Because we know that Frank Rodriguez is on that page. Maybe I got my selector wrong, or maybe we need to wait. We're gonna force a wait, a barbaric 5 seconds after this, because you noticed that team page, it loads some of the content, a lot of the content with JavaScript. So it happens after the instantaneous load of the page. Now we're going to wait 5 seconds, gives it enough time for the content to actually load, and now our test passes. See that?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the really sticky problems with browser automation sometimes you have to do things like this, but there's actually another way to do things to wait for elements to become available. So you can do a Selenium C sharp wait for element. There's actually a class that you can use that helps to just wait for something to happen. That's I think it's something like this right here, WebDriver wait. And so you give it the driver, and then you tell it how much time to wait, and you tell it to wait until some element with this ID, and then it goes on past. So you give it a five gives this gives it right here a 5 second threshold. Within 5 seconds, if it appears in 1 second, then it goes on past. If it takes more than 5 seconds, then it throws an exception. So that's a way to kind of get around the having to do a hard 5 second thread stop.
Okay, is there a way like to have like a, I don't know how to put this. For example, if you need to log in every time you need to do a specific uh, something, you need to something. Is there a way like to have pre-logged instead of having to run again the login procedure and all of that stuff?
Well,
Like for
no,
example,
because if you think about it, what you're doing is you're spinning up a new browser every single time. There might be something you can do with
but
cookies,
yeah, that's what.
right? So there might
Sorry.
be something you can do with cookies. I would just not depend on that,
Okay.
unless you're like really worried about performance for some reason.
Mhm.
I would just go ahead and log in every time. Like when I was writing Pepino for all that acceptance criteria, acceptance tests, each acceptance test had to log in. Um, and it provided a little bit cleaner experience. But there, I know that you can do things with cookies. So if for some reason you run into um, a a performance issue where you need to cut out some seconds from the process, then just research that. Otherwise, I would just let it's a robot, and you can abuse him all you want to. Just make him log in.
Okay.
What other questions?
Okay.
I don't know. Uh, Uploading files
Uploading files. So once
or
again,
anything related with operating system. I don't know.
gotcha. Gotcha. Uploading a file is a matter of finding an element. So let's see. What's a website that has you upload a file? Um,
Something to convert images, maybe. Uh, Let me look for one.
Like
Tiny, tiny PNG.
Imgur.
Yeah, something like tiny PNG, for example.
so what am I converting there?
Uh,
JPG to a PNG or what?
PNG. No, it's like optimization. You just
When okay,
you upload a PNG and it gives you a new one,
okay, so
smaller size.
it should give us a smaller PNG. Okay, fine.
And you get two alternatives. You either drop the image or upload it by clicking on the area. So it might
Okay, so let's visit the website and to see what you guys are talking about.
say tiny PNG.
tinypng.com.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here we got an element that you can also click to upload, or you can drag things on there. Cool. So I'll just go out here and we'll navigate here instead. And then we want to find this element, which is really just, let's see. All right, no problem. We're going to find a section.
Yeah, I think it's triggered JavaScript, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So let's see. I need to I need to get a console. How do I get a console so I can type things? Oh, here we go. All right. So I'm going to just do. How can I select with CSS in the console? Is it
Dollar,
just
dollar.
dollar?
Yeah, and
Uh,
then open parentheses and just type target dot target in a string. but in a string.
Gotcha.
And
Kind of like Java, kind of like
yeah,
jQuery.
yeah,
All right,
kind of.
so it only gave me one. That's good. So now I'll
Yeah.
just do target. I'll just kind of follow the CSS selector. So I want to get down to that text that it's saying to click, or maybe it's just the target that I'm clicking. All right. So we'll say target. We'll just try it.
Maybe.
We're gonna click on this. Okay. Then we're going to now I've got to search for it. Selenium file upload. Salt Labs has a lot of really good information, and even if it's like a Ruby code that they're using or Java, it's still pretty similar. The syntax is pretty similar. Um,
Or are you suggesting that Java is better than? No, never mind.
that's another podcast, another video cast. Find element, send keys. Okay, cool. So we just need to find the element, and then we're going to, I guess we'll click it.
uh,
Yeah, but it's going to take some experimentation, I'll bet.
yeah, yeah. I'm guessing that if it's a simple button, you just select the button and hit the click, and it should pop
Yeah,
up the thing, right?
and then you send keys with the actual path to the file, which
Oh,
would
but
which would automate the opening of that dialog here.
okay. Maybe we can use. Well, maybe we can test something that has a form. I'm guessing it would be the same, right? Just select an element,
Oh, look,
change the
right there it is.
text.
Hey, did you see that?
Which one? No, 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 I
Yeah.
didn't.
Input type file multiple.
Oh, okay.
Hey, hey, input. Um, this is what is the syntax?
I don't remember, to be honest.
It's like
Maybe try
this
input. Yeah, square.
file. There it is. Cool. I'm glad somebody thought of that. All right, let's go back over here and we'll just select that input instead. And so we're not going to click that so much. We're just going to send keys, and I'm going to give it uh, a PNG. Maybe I've got one on my computer here, or I can just get one off of Google. Um, Richard C. Wadby. See how Googleable you are. Get Jacob right there. All right, is this a PNG? I'll bet it's not. I bet it's a JPEG.
Probably. It's
I hit the
text
wrong
import.
button, didn't I?
Okay. You
This
can
might not
always.
work.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. Find all kinds of PNGs for this.
Yeah, you can use a Google argument. You can type file. Well, you can do it as well.
But hey, tell me how you do that.
You can do a file. The 2 points. I don't know how to mention that in English. 2 points and
Colon.
PNG, and it would be file type. File type. And you should get only PNGs.
Cool. All right, so we'll go with this. Oops. Just view the image, and we'll actually save this down to the hard drive. And this goes out to my folder, Selenium example specs. And I'm not sure whether I should put it in bin. We'll have to experiment with the file location,
But
unfortunately.
yeah, but you can change that, right? Like from Selenium, navigating through the documents or any other folder. Are you able
Right.
to do that? Oh, okay, you're doing that right
Yeah,
now.
I'm just gonna do projects, Selenium example
Okay.
specs, and then I've got to figure out what it's called. Okay, and so I've got some backslashes here that are causing a problem. All right, there we go. So it's going to upload that. Um, then I'm going to actually, I want to, well, I don't know, maybe that's all I've got to do. What was the this one right here saying to do? So it's just send keys, ID and element. Absolute. It has to be an absolute path. Um,
Yeah, that will work only if it's an input type
maybe
file.
maybe send keys is all you have to do.
Yeah, but
Let's just see what it does.
yeah, I'm guessing that will work for that one.
Yeah. While you guys are working on this, I would definitely suggest. Oh, there it goes. Finished. I
Cool.
would definitely suggest using unit tests to get the stuff actually working. Like, so create yourself a class that does all of this right here, and then exercise it from unit tests, because you're going to be constantly going back and forth, trying this, trying that. And if you try to do that through your application and like pressing F5 and going through all that, it's going to be a big waste of time. So that's giving us. We didn't see the dialog box open, but it gave us a downloadable file then, which then I could have asserted on that download link, um, which is the same thing as this. I could assert on this download link. I could probably even download the file in the browser and
Save it
uh,
somewhere.
and then save it somewhere if I wanted to. But this is probably good enough for a quick demonstration. So, any other questions?
Yeah, for example, if you want to trigger a form or input something in an input, it's a matter of just selecting the element, changing the text, and that's it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Same thing for
And
clicking on elements. If there's a submit button, you just select the element first and then act upon it with a click or whatever.
okay. And well,
Okay.
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. Well, all of this is origin master. All of this is now in GitHub in the link that I gave you. So you should be able to pull it down and try it out for yourself.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Any other suggestions while working on this?
Um, I would just try to make things
How is the
as
performance
future proof
for,
as possible.
and for example, let's say that since we're doing this for as an API, like a solution, what happens
Yeah.
if 5 or 7 or 10 or 100 people trigger that? Should we trigger one browser at a time or
Um, I would
simultaneously or what
I
would be
would
the best way?
suggest doing it more on a schedule so that there is some control over how often it hits this. Because
Mm,
if you imagine some computers, you can open up 5 browsers and it's already swapping, disk swapping. So it's already run out of memory just because you opened up a few browsers. If if you're doing that on a server, it's really not immune to that either. It'll eat up a lot of memory also. So it's better if you can store the things that need to go into. You guys are working on a thing that's taking things and putting them into a spreadsheet and then putting them into uploading them to a computer that has
Yeah,
no
but
API.
yeah.
yeah, but that should work like instantaneously. Like it's not something that we should do like once a day. It should be done like right now. But
But wouldn't it work if you did it every minute
oh, okay.
or every
Yeah, I guess the
five
client. Yeah,
minutes?
because the client says that it could run like every minute. Yeah, it doesn't have to
Okay.
Or
be
Yeah,
real
that would
time.
work.
or
Yeah,
maybe
that would
maybe
work.
every 5 minutes. I mean, it really depends on how fast it is to upload. And maybe maybe your app is running and it gets to that minute mark. It goes and checks to see if there are any invoices. If there are none, do nothing.
Okay, so
If
the
there are if
the
there are
real problem
invoices, then send them.
so the real problem with doing this like instantaneously is the memory, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to open a browser. So if you use something like Phantom, you can save some memory.
You could.
Okay.
Just I would experiment with that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Totally.
and whatever you're going to use has to be installed on the computer, with the exception of Phantom. I think if you download the NuGet package for that, then it'll actually download the Phantom browser at the same time. But I would experiment with that. I would not do it on demand for each user. I would put those invoices into a database table, like almost like queue them, and then when it's every minute or every 5 minutes or whatever, you go to the database, say, are there any invoices? Pull them down, put them into a spreadsheet, go to the page, upload them.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Any other suggestions? Nope.
Not for now. You guys
Okay.
might come up with more questions later.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Cool.
I think
Really?
William is in the witness relocation program or something, or he's doing that thing where he doesn't want his face to be seen. He's changing his voice to. It's got that thing that makes his voice change. All right.
Okay. Cool.
See you.
Okay. So, thank you, Brian.
Bye.
You got
Bye.
it. Bye.
Bye.